Coming up on this week's edition of AU Hoop Talk with Coach Brennan, presented by 1757 Golf Club, the sprint to the regular season finish, Johnny O'Neal wins an award, and the Eagles have a date Saturday with Army. All of that coming up after this.
1757 Golf Club in Dulles, Virginia is your ultimate golf experience. Don't let the cold weather give your golf game the winter blues. Stay in prime swing inside 1757's state-of-the-art heated golf academy. Improve your game with help from 1757's professional golf instructors and equipment fitters, and relax with your family and friends in the award-winning 1757 restaurant. Visit 1757golfclub.com for complete details. 1757 Golf Club, the DC area's ultimate relaxation destination.
Did you know that Geico's whole 15 minutes thing, that came from me? Really? My first idea was, in 1/4 of an hour, your savings will tower over you, figuratively speaking. But that's not catchy, is it? That's not going to swim about in your brain. So I thought, what about 15 minutes, 15%? Serendipity.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome into the show, Dan Laing alongside Coach Brennan. And Coach, maybe a little bit of a sigh of relief in the sense of you had 5 games in 8 days to wrap up the regular season, and then actually a few days without games.
Yeah, no, it was a tough stretch. It was a tough stretch there just to, try to prepare for games, playing back-to-back. I mean, the back-to-backs are tough as it is, but then the play on a Wednesday. So to have a day of rest was welcome, certainly, for all of our guys. But again, they're just happy to be on the court. So, practice, we've had a couple good practices so far. So they're just appreciative of any opportunity they get.
You take a look at how the season wrapped up with you guys in a 5 seed, just the way the ups and downs and games here, games there, going to play, not going to play. You pleased with a 5 seed at this point? I mean, you obviously would want to be higher, but are you pleased with the 5 seed based on what all happened this year?
No, definitely. I mean, I could care less, to be honest, about the seed. I mean, just the fact that we're on the court, playing games, able to practice, able to be out there, able to get better. I mean, that's all I can ask for with this team. And that's all the team wants. They just want to be on the court, want to be playing, want to have, a game to look forward to and prepare for, and time to improve and get better. So that's what we've been doing.
Did you kind of look at some of those games in that stretch almost as practices? I mean, obviously there's an elevated importance, but did you almost have to look at it as teaching moments within the game?
No, absolutely. I mean, we talked about that, and, you have to totally change your mindset, getting guys minutes, getting guys experience, because you're going to need people to be ready. We talked about it's the beginning, the middle, and the end of your season all at once, where you're literally trying to get in shape and get guys experience while trying to win an important game. So, seeding didn't matter as long as we got guys minutes, and as long as we were, practicing and playing hard and trying to do the things that we talked about. I was been happy with this team's effort. And again, it can just, I can't talk enough about Jameer and Stacy and just the leadership that we've gotten from those guys.
Mm-hmm. When you look at the final regular season game against Bucknell, you guys were able to score 81 points, the most points in regulation without a game going to overtime. You guys have scored all season. So it seems to be that you guys are hitting stride at the right time. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I thought we played well. We moved the ball. We did some things that we hadn't done, in previous games. We did things that we worked on. But essentially, we went out and we did the things that we talked about in practice. There was improvement. There's obviously, tons of areas that you want to get better at, and you're talking about those things. But we shared the ball, and there was definitely improvement in the game. And we've talked to our team about, hey, this is going to be new, just like Army on Saturday. It's a critical game. If you lose, you're done. But we got to get better during the game. That's what we've talked about, is these guys have to sort of learn on the fly and understand that we got to get better quickly. It's not like you can play a game with your best group and then, look at film and regroup. And it's like it has to happen on the fly as it had to happen all year with this group. And they've done a great job.
Jameer in that game, the final regular season game, I mean, he really had it going from three, stuck 5 threes. He, I believe, is atop the NCAA rankings as far as made threes per game with 4 a game. I mean, that's pretty impressive how he's able to measure those up.
Yeah, well, I mean, or not the best things. So many good things about that kid, but he, as well as he can shoot, he was getting to the rim. He's throwing passes. We were getting further along in our offense, so a few of his shots came later, where other guys were getting him shots. So for him to, he understands that he has to score, he has to be aggressive, he has to do all these things, but he also has to let all these other guys sort of, be aggressive and, make plays. So he has to, let the offense, he can't just come down and try to make a play immediately. He has to have confidence in his teammates, which it's a hard thing to do because, he's played college basketball, for a while now, and he's obviously, very, effective, so for him to sort of give up the reins a little bit to let some other guys try to make some plays, it's not an easy thing to do. But for him to be able to do that is just extraordinary. And, I can't say enough about what he's done this year.
Let's talk about Johnny O'Neal and what he's done this year. I mean, he's the Patriot League Rookie of the Year. That was just announced the other day. And you take a look at his stat line, 11 points a game, 6 rebounds, couple blocks, 41% from beyond the arc. I mean, so he does a little, well, maybe not a little bit, maybe a lot of everything. It seems like it's a complete stat line. And he had a really good first season there in Tenleytown.
Yeah, no, he's also a straight A student. And he's also one of our hardest workers and most coachable guys. And, I can't say enough about the year that he's had. Obviously it's been, there's been, obstacles throughout the year for everybody. So for him to just be, so focused, so consistent, not letting, all these, distractions affect his, performance on the court, in the classroom, off the court, everything the kid's done has been, remarkable. And, I can't say enough about him. I love coaching him, and obviously, yes, he's very good and he's done a lot on the court. So he's going to be a very good player for us going forward, obviously.
And obviously some other winners, Jameer Harris, first team All-Patriot League, Stacey Beckton on the All-Defensive team, and Connor Nelson on the academic team. So you guys had a lot of guys, a good showing on the postseason teams. Overall, that's got to make you feel pretty good and got to make the guys feel pretty good there in the locker room.
Yeah, absolutely. To get that type of recognition, which, obviously I think we've had the smallest sort of sampling even within the league. So, for Jameer to, get that type of, recognition from the other coaches in the league. And we've played, maybe not half the games, but a lot fewer. Shows how important he is, what a good player he is, what of an impact he makes. And the same thing with Stacey, because Stacey was out, he was hurt. So for him to, sort of have that type of impact in so few games, and the same with Johnny and the same with Connor, I can't give these guys enough credit for what they've done. So I'm very, very, very happy for each of them.
Moving to Army, which you guys have in a quarterfinal game up there in West Point on Saturday at 3:00 Eastern. And when you take a look at the team that Jimmy Allen has, they've played, I believe it's the most games of any Patriot League team. They got started earlier and were able to play a few non-conference games. But you take a look at what Jimmy Allen's been able to do, and record-wise, it seems to be the best team that he's put together. And he has 5 seniors. He has, I think it's 3 guys scoring in double digits. So when you take a look, and obviously you haven't seen them yet, you've only seen film. When you take a look, what do you see from the Army West Point squad?
Yeah, I give Jimmy so much credit, so losing Funk and losing Wilson, two such important pieces to, what he's done for the past 4 years. To be able to get these guys again, I'm not surprised, because he does a heck of a job, and they move the ball, they play hard, they test you. They're, really, really good offensive team. They, and they're great defensively too. So I'm not surprised at what they've done. And they share the ball, they play together, they play hard. and they come at you. He plays a ton of guys. So it's, it's going to be a tough test on Saturday.
And they have the defensive player of the year on their team as well with Josh Caldwell, who led the conference in steals. What do you see from him?
Yeah. They're on it. They're on everything, so he's the beneficiary. He's part of it, but he's also the beneficiary of their entire team, of what they do defensively, because it's as many, he's getting steals. He can defend. He's where he's supposed to be. But so is everybody else, so the whole team, just makes you work every single possession. I'm watching tape, and every possession, it doesn't matter the beginning of the game, the end of the game, the score. It seems like it's a do or die, tie game, end of the game type of possession. So it's it'll be a shock to our guys when we face that immediately.
And I guess that'll be that's expected when you face the military academy. They've got to be disciplined. When you take a look at everything and think about it, what are a couple of your Geico keys to the game?
Well, as long as we share the ball, it's all simple stuff. It's like, we're not going to be a totally different team. We are who we are at this point. So we're trying to, improve incrementally and, sort of hit some things each practice, each day. And just because you have like a 5-minute practice segment on something doesn't mean you're automatically going to be great at it immediately. It's just you're pointing it out and, letting your guys know, hey, this is important. This is what we got to do. But share the ball, get back in transition, play hard, understand what we're trying to do on both ends of the court, and do the things that we have control over as best we can throughout the game, just to give us ourselves a chance to be in the game at the end.
Well, best of luck on Saturday up there in Crystal Arena.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dan.
All right. That'll do it for this edition of AU Hoop Talk with Coach Brennan, presented by 1757 Golf Club. Be sure and keep up with the Eagles on all the social media platforms. For Coach, I'm Dan. We'll see you next time.